Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randal Fackler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts.
Yo, bitches, this is Christina Almy.
And I'm Jason Almy.
And we're from the podcast Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
And we want to tell you how to grow up to be just like your Uncle Randy.
Step 1.
Eat some pussy and a steak.
Step 2.
Lift some heavy-ass weight.
Step 3.
Repeat the first 2 steps.
And step 4.
Wash it down with some Diet Mountain Dew. Goddamn.
Goddamn?
Goddamn.
All right, I think we're live.
Sure.
Yes. We should be on Facebook now. Welcome, everybody.
What up, Facebook?
Joe B in the house. We told y'all about that. Put that out for everybody. Joe B's from Any Podcast Will Do.
Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Oh, what's up?
We're going to do a little cheers to Joe and being our buddy. Cheers to you, sir. Oh, God. That's actually a good shot, actually. I've grown to
Is that the woohoo
What
or
was
whatever?
that one?
Yeah, it's muscle vodka with little cranberry juice and peach schnapps. So
Sounds
it's
good.
just
That
a
sounds good.
Tasty shot.
I'm down for that. That sounds delicious.
Hey, Joe, I gotta know, because your little name thing is blocking it. What is directly in front of, like, your right
That?
hand? Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah. It looks like, is it like a Miss Piggy or something?
No. I'll tell you. I'll show you in a second. So that's my blow-up doll that I like to get hit from. No. That is not that. I meant to put that away. That is my. So this studio also doubles as my wife's office. So she works from home 4 out of the 5 days during the week, and because it's summertime, kids are not in school. My daughter hangs out down here, and she has this Barbie thing that you can do the nails.
Yes. Oh, God,
So,
that's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah, it's creepy.
I had the one when I was little that was
scary.
just the head, that you just did
Yeah.
its hair.
Yeah, and whatever. She dresses it. I don't know how I feel. It's scary. But
No, it's a girl thing. I didn't have one that had hands, but I had one that was just a head. I don't know which is creepier, but
probably the hands, because they also move, so you can.
Oh, God, you, like,
little
pose it?
poses. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's weird.
Those always creep me out when you would comb the hair. The pores were so wide apart, like it just.
it's
so strange.
It's super creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely see them murdering people. Well,
I could-
we're glad to have you, sir. Glad you willing to join us tonight and shoot the shit with us. I was talking earlier to Brooke, or actually right after the last podcast of the Roundtable. I would have to flip a coin now as far as who's the better. I'd probably have to hire you both. Like if podcast of the Roundtable were like the UFC or MMA, you and Wutsky would be the two, the Rogan and the John Anik that we would have to bring in. Yeah, the commentators / analysts, because
That's a compliment.
it's incredible the depth that you guys will break it down, which is great for me. It's actually taught me a lot of what to look into. So we just put out that Adam was the winner of the Battle Back.
Dude,
Adam Simmons.
Wait, we did?
Cheers to Adam.
Yay.
Yeah, I put it out on Twitter.
I didn't know that happened already.
I did. I just put it out a little bit ago.
Okay, and we just posted
Episode 4.
Episode 4
which
audio.
you won.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
dope.
Yep. Which filled in our first semifinal bracket, ended with you. Mm-hmm. And Adam starts the next one,
Yeah.
which Joe B is about to compete to try to enter that semifinal in the episode with Kristen Beck coming up.
So nervous.
Yeah.
I think everyone is. Like all your friends, all my friends, your friends, like this is the topic that everyone talks to me like behind closed doors. They're like, can't believe Joe B signed up for the grenade of all shows. I was like, I get it, because for one, I would want to meet her. She's, just a hero. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Plus the
what are you
challenge
going to
of it.
do? Well, I'm going to go against a Navy SEAL. That's how I feel like going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You find the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the yard and you try to shut him down, right?
And if you get your ass whooped, you're like, okay, but she could kill your whole family, so I don't
She
really
could
know
kill me
about
with
you.
her fucking thumb, so the fact that I survived a round would be a blessing.
Yeah, and she's actually like stoked about it. I can't wait to see how that goes. I'm so up in the air. I don't know. It's
I
such a
know. I'm
wild
nervous
card.
about that one.
You know what's fucked up is that you're so nervous. Like, you make the questions up. Like, you know what you're going to ask.
I really not until
He doesn't do it till like the day of.
And they're with her, you know, I'm not.
You gotta
gonna,
be
I'm not gonna
sensitive.
treat. Yeah, but I'm not gonna like lighten it up because I kind of made that mistake. And I'm not gonna say mistake because I honored my word to Amy Lyle.
Yeah.
And we were very clean, but I felt how that compromised the flow of how we like to do the show, and that's nothing on her. That's just her way. And I gave my word, so we kept our part of it.
I really tried, but still.
It was hard.
I can understand that. Compared to the first 3 before that, it definitely felt like energy was lower.
Yeah,
like
it
people,
killed
like
the-
people were reserved.
Yeah, it killed it.
Versus
for sure.
versus like, I mean, they were all good answers, but there was definitely like you were almost waiting for that point of like, oh shit, that's a definite burn, or
Yeah.
or even like just the grenades. There was like no grenades.
There was
at
no
all.
grenades. I know. Well, Randall kept ruining it, by the way.
I did
what,
ruin
what
it.
happened?
Oh my God. Twice he was like, oh, this is right up your. And I'm like, dude, you can't say that before a question.
Nah.
You can't say it's right up so and so's alley because then we're going to want to grenade him.
Favoritism, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Larry. And honestly, looking back on it now, like I haven't even talked to Richard since we called him. He gave his winner, and then he hung up. And I thanked him. I sent him a message thanking him for judging and everything, but we haven't talked. And I wonder if maybe that was his deciding factor because, you know, I told you, me and you did our cards and you and Larry were tied in our cards. But if he
It was
was
you. I don't just.
yeah, but if he was maybe like, you know what, she actually didn't hold back all of her cuss words and, you know, because you did drop
No,
the most.
I
cuss
know.
words
I
of
did.
anybody.
Yeah, you definitely were like, sorry, I'm going to say shit.
Yeah.
I'm saying shit. The shit's not bad. They say it on TV now. I'm saying shit.
Well, and it's hard. I mean, I barely censor myself in front of my 5-year-old,
No,
so
you
it's
don't.
really hard to do it.
It was hard, but like I want to make it clear to everybody, I don't regret it because I told her in advance, and I would be a real shitty person if I asked her to come on our show months ago and then didn't live up to my, you know what I mean? So, fuck it. You know, it's
Well,
a
she was
learning
gonna-
experience.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, you made it a thing because you even acknowledge it. Like, oh shit, that's not me swearing, that's her swearing. Like, so, like, there was an entertaining aspect about it. But you could definitely tell that people held back versus like, yeah, he said it's going to be clean, but I didn't, so I'm gonna
Right.
do my answers.
Well,
I know.
I'm interested to get your thoughts on the battle back and the Adam and Larry closeness because our judge had it close. I had it really close between them two, which means nothing because mine doesn't count. Yours doesn't count. I think you had them both close.
I did
also.
too. Yeah, because it was fun not
Larry surprised me.
competing. Yeah.
You know, I
He's a
expect that from Adam.
He's still a lot younger than I thought he was from listening to his show.
Larry?
Yeah, I thought he was like old, like John.
No, he's
But
like our
not.
age.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
I
Yeah.
could see why he thinks
But-
that, though. Not knowing Larry and just listening, because
Sure.
Larry takes himself out of his show a lot of times and lets his other people
Yeah.
shine.
But yeah, they were close. They were nice, quirky answers. Larry with the "I'm not gay, I'm not going down this I suck dicks" road, and then everybody else was like, "Yeah, it's all about the dicks" on this episode.
Did you?
Almi took it to a little bit further of a place of the. I like the
Adam did
dicks.
too.
Kind of, but in a different way where it was still soft. Where Almi was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna rape this dick."
Oh, yeah.
Where Adam was like, "Oh, I see it and I play with it." Almi like took it dark.
Well, this is what was funny to me. You know, we called in to hashtag for their 2-year anniversary show. I know you guys all called in too, and
Yeah.
I was telling him that the funniest text message I've ever exchanged with anyone, probably in my life, was with John Buchanan right after the episode. I think it was the day after. I texted him. I said, "Hey, John, so what'd you think about the episode?" And he said, "Well, in my humble opinion, it was a little gay." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's hilarious!" And I was like, still laughing, and I didn't even get a chance to reply yet because I was laughing so hard. Dude. And he said, "Actually, it was a lot gay. It was really too gay.
It was all so gay.
It was too gay."
Dude, straight men can be the gayest.
They are,
ever,
I think.
Ever.
Dude, totally are. I've said that for years. Guys are the gayest people on earth.
I got all my friends. They all about like, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna suck this dick. It's like, really? Like,
well, yeah,
but it's all dick tease. If it ever came down to it, nobody's actually pulling shit out.
No,
God no. But I want to know if I was bamboozled, because my question about the superheroes with the sidekick was not intended for the gay part. I just thought it would be funny to see who they picked. But apparently, any sidekick, the superhero fucks their sidekick.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I'm surprised nobody went like ambiguously gay duo. I would have.
I said that last night when we called H2.
I probably would have went more of that route. The way that it started to go,
yeah.
It was like it was all guys. So I don't know. If there was a girl, it probably would have been a lot different.
Yeah, I thought it was. I actually thought in that round, I gave that round to Larry on my card because
nips.
He said the chili nips and the touching asses with John. That's how they.
That was their superpower.
That's how they would activate their power. As they bump asses.
That was good. That was good.
One into its power activate.
And that's what reminded me of ambiguously gay duo too, because didn't they like hump each other or something they did like like that's how their car drove or something, was them going like
oh dear God, that shit was so fucking funny, man. I could not get over it. And then I've sat there and watched John's anger build through that episode of like, this is getting further and further gay. Like without him saying it, like, guys, we got to reel this in. You know,
why did it bother him?
Dude.
Just because it's out of his wheelhouse, you know, like that. He wants to be able to rant, and it was taken that way. One, because Almy was he fixated on John for some reason.
Almy
he
was going hard in the paint with John,
and he decided, I'm all in on John tonight. And then Adam, he's just all over the place no matter what. Like you never know.
Yeah.
And he's able to kind of.
But each round still included some dick.
Oh yeah. But
every round.
I want to know what is your thoughts on the importance of going a filling time or making a clear point and ending your time?
Clear point and ending your time is what wins.
I agree.
Anytime you drag that shit out, unless like if you can make consecutive points for the full 3 rounds, not just fluff, not just filler, not going to the extreme. If you can sit there and like systematically almost break down the question with good points and keep it entertaining, 3 minutes, it's a long time.
Very long.
3 minutes is a long time.
It is a long time.
Like unless you have those like concise points, like a comedian where you can rattle off 5 different things and keep it moving. But to fill that time is quick and concise. Snipe that shit.
Yeah, it's so not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, when John has a question that's proper for his rants, he can go pretty long and it be perfect. Like it's just funny if he has the right time and place to do it.
Yeah, because there's no pauses.
No.
Like he just starts and continues where there's no like, well, also this and this. Like he can just keep going directly one breath, and those rants kind of kill him because after that he just gasses, and then he's just like, I'm breathing heavy.
Well, it was a good point. Like John's kind of got his rants though, like where he's good is he's got to kind of feel his way to the rant. Like it may start, he's like a a prize fighter is going to kind of jab you for distance. Like, he's going to feel you on your nose. It's not going to hurt. And then when he sees that something's taken, then he kind of, will run with it. And that's where I felt he never got comfortable in the super gay episode. In his,
I can see that.
his words, in his humble opinion.
But, I mean, it's also like, it must be hard because you have that one good rant. And where, I mean, dude, sometimes your questions, you could probably rant about any of them. But which one do you give that extra energy to?
Exactly.
To make it like, this is my moment type thing?
Your signature. Yeah, no, for real. That's totally right.
So when it's that gay one, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of it, unless you're used to it.
That gay one. Can you not picture, John? I was just picturing him texting that. In my humble opinion, it was a little gay.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the comments now, too, and John says, that Battleback episode was the gayest episode ever.
Yeah, shout out to John. Who all's in the chat?
John and Wutsky and
Nice.
Eric and Michelle Guild.
What's
so,
up?
The usual suspects. What's up, people?
What's good?
I'm excited about her being on the ladies episode. That whole ladies episode.
Dude, that's going to be a
is gonna
dope
be the
episode,
shit.
too.
I know. That's going
It
to be
probably
fun.
won't be so gay, but... Or
I don't know,
I'm pretty
maybe.
sure they're not going to be like, oh, let's go scissor. I'll scissor your face.
I don't know. There might be some motorboat
I don't think
talking.
so.
I don't know.
I'm with you, Joe.
I'm gonna hit you with these flaps. Like, this is going to be none
No.
But John is hosting that episode,
Oh, God.
not me. So he's going
He's
to be
gotta
coming
come
up
up.
with the questions.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got to...
It's going to be
John?
all... It's going to be all Christmas shit.
What?
Fucking Tim Allen. What happened to me when I climbed up that ladder?
Which reindeer is the best?
Why does Comet eat all the snacks?
Oh, God. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. For one, because I'm excited to be able to like sit and be a spectator for once and just kind of watch it. And two, just to see where John's fucking head goes in these questions. Dear God.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
probably
fun, though.
interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun as shit. And then we've got we've got you and Beck. Then the battle for that semifinal. I mean, with Wutsky, Jody B, Dave, and Brooke.
That's
Here's
another fire
here,
episode.
here's my thing though. I told Brooke, it all depends on what happens with Dave and Jody. Are they, because no matter what you say, they do share a network.
Yeah.
So are they going to team up and work? Because they're right. They could do that. There's no rule.
How can you really team up, though?
I don't know. Like, do they tee each other up? I don't know if that's possible, but do they?
Oh, yeah. You kind of like, I'm going to take it here, and you build up off of what I said to
Exactly.
to catapult further.
But I think if they do that, that's dangerous to where they could cancel each other right out, and then it's prime for Brooke or what, because Wutsky's like a freight train. If they don't watch their ass, he's consistent as can be. And then if they cancel each other out, then you're just going to have Brooke and Wutsky fucking boxing each other in the face.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
But nobody knows the questions ahead of time, so I don't know how Jody
that's the tough part, is not knowing the questions. Because, I mean, if it's like a true crime thing or some serial killer shit, Brooke's going to go off on it.
Wutsky's pretty versatile in his knowledge. Like, he's kind of a what's the common saying? Master of none, jack of all trades,
Jack of all
master of
trades,
none.
yeah.
And that's not a knock on him. I wish I was that. Like, I think Wutsky could kind of talk to a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But John clearly wants no superheroes or gay shit ever again. Or he might just pull himself and refuse to take part anymore. But, so I don't know how to,
I don't know what that means, Wutsky. He said, is that because I'm fat? I don't know why.
No, it's because Wutsky's awesome is what it
I
is.
know. I don't know what that has to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I've said it from the jump. If he's on point, I probably would have to say the person most built for this, you would think, is Jody B.
Yes.
He's kind of made for it. Like, it's just he does his own show. It's just him. He's kind of...
So does Dave, though, most of the time. Or he did.
Yeah, but Jody's more animated, can kind of riff on anything. You know, he doesn't write anything. You know, Dave's
Yeah.
a writer. He's just,
Well, he does
smart guy.
characters on
Yeah.
his show when he was by himself. So, I mean, to me, going into it, I feel like it's going to be, and this is before anybody's said a word on the episode, but it's going to be between Jody B and Wutsky.
Okay.
And me and Dave will just be there like, dirt, dirt, dirt. Hello.
Never know. We don't even know who's going to judge that one yet. We have to figure that out.
Dirt, dirt. Yeah, I was going to ask you who's judging it, but
I don't know yet,
when is
but-
that episode? Because we still, what's next?
The next one is we're either going to do the semifinal number 1,
Which would
is
be that
what's
one.
That one.
Okay.
We might try to sneak it in before Joe B and Kristen Beck because that's not till September 22nd.
Right.
So you have the time.
Yeah, so we have the time to fill it and get it done and have that person named and that whole first half over with. Mm-hmm. And then we know we're building toward that second half winner to battle for the overall.
And what episode is the all-girl one?
The one after
The
Joe
Kristen
B's.
Beck and Joby. Okay. So episode 6
Yeah.
is the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the battle back doesn't have a number because it was just the battle back.
What if... And I'm just...
Oh, shit.
Spitballing here.
This is not going to
shit.
happen. But, because I'm on, every episode... This isn't happening, guys. Just hear me out.
Oh, shit.
What if I won, the fucking Kristen Beck episode and the all-women's one?
Dang.
Then I think everybody would just rename it.
Everybody would just be
Podcast
like,
of the
fuck
Brooke
you.
Table.
Yeah, it's not happening. I'm just saying.
Podcast at my dinner table.
Yeah,
Podcast of the Fowler House.
yeah, that would be. I mean,
That's
but
not happening. But
I think with Kristen Beck, it's not only the hardest one because you don't know what's going to happen, but she brings the biggest following of anybody that's
All right,
competed
can you-
on the show.
Can you
I mean,
just stop? Can you just stop saying that? Fuck.
well, I mean, I'm just saying for the listeners.
good luck, Joe.
Here's the deal, though. Why you're a smart man and I would have done the same thing you did is this
Huge
reason.
pussy. Huge pussy. I don't know why I called out the baddest motherfucker there is.
Well, you're going to get a lot more eyeballs, though, and that's
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's the ball
Stage
game.
fright. I see Star Search happening all over again.
What would be funny is if the shit made.
stars.
Okay.
What if they pulled that episode and put it on CNN? Like they were just like, first transgender Navy
What?
SEAL competes on
Oh, dude,
podcast of the
fucking-
Round Table,
Loses to this retard in his mom's basement.
and they play it on a Anderson Cooper live because
that's
she's
not
on
my mom's
CNN all the
basement.
time. She's on CNN all the time.
Yeah.
She does way too much serious, cool shit to be associating with us.
Which is what makes it
Facts.
great that she wants to do it, which is what I love
she is
about
way too cool with her time with
She's gonna
us.
Kill me with her thumb.
She's a badass. I want to meet her in person so bad.
it. We're supposed to. She promises me when she's in Atlanta we're going to go have beer with her.
She's
Wow.
gonna look at me through her camera and be like, "I'm squishing your head." I'm like, "I feel it. I feel it. Leave me alone. Stop
Oh,
doing
dear
it."
God, no.
I feel bad for you. I'm trying to figure out what kind of questions you're gonna answer or ask.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like,
Like,
that's-
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ask a transgender question. I have to, and she would want me to. I know her well enough from talking to her on our episode.
Yeah,
Like,
bring
I've
it
gotta
on.
ask
man.
about that.
I'm down to hopefully not insult people, but
Not like,
Yeah.
do you hate transgender people?
Well,
Here's 3
we've
minutes.
had questions
We
like that on the
wouldn't do
show
that.
before about in the Olympics.
Yeah, yeah.
And didn't we talk about going to the prom one, or was that just on our show? We
That was
talked
just
about
on our show.
Oh,
The
okay.
Olympics was the one we talked
Yeah.
about on the round table. So, I mean, I'm sure I'll touch on that for one because she would probably be pissed if we didn't. But what's unfair about that is, she's got a built-in 1 hour special on that question because it's all that she deals with.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I'm curious, so
Yeah.
bring it on. I like to learn some shit, see from another side.
Well, I also want to touch on. We got to talk some MMA since we got Joe B here.
Yes.
Oh,
That-
fuck
that's
yes,
really why, when you told me we were talking to him tonight, I was like, oh, because the fights last night.
Have you
Yeah.
heard? I'm sure you have, but you heard about Cowboy and Gaethje going to be headlining the fight night.
Yeah, September 13th. Yeah,
Yeah.
Aren't we going to do that as a buddy beatdown on
Yeah.
Creatures?
we definitely should do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good. And who do you take in that fight?
I mean, Cowboy.
I gotta take. That's going to be
Cowboy.
a barn burner
Yeah.
there, buddy. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, so Gaethje is tough, but Gaethje doesn't ever usually go past the first round, and if he does not win.
Yeah.
And
So
I do think Cowboy is experienced enough to be able to fight his fight so that Gaethje has to come after him.
and capitalize on that. Like, he can come out strong now if he wants to. We've seen.
He definitely did.
With Iaquinta. He started that with Iaquinta. Where
Right.
He kind of flipped that.
He
script.
came out way strong with Iaquinta,
But
which was
what-
very reassuring.
What scares me, and what do you guys think, is that it scared me because Tony Ferguson did to Cowboy what Cowboy did to Iaquinta. He beat his ass until he stopped it, until he blew his eye up when he cleared his broken nose.
Yeah, but Ferguson's like a different animal than Gaethje.
Oh, for sure, 100%. But just
Gaethje-
seeing him get beat up like that was tough.
Yes. But
Yeah.
Gaethje's like, I'm just going to swing for fences. It's not really technical. It's more just slug it.
What do you think the chances are of Gaethje having CTE
Oh, fuck
in
yeah.
his older years?
Oh, God, yeah.
How old's Gaethje?
He's a animal for one, but he fights so recklessly.
I'm
He
trying
gets
to think
hit.
who he is.
Probably
He's the one that does the
29.
backflip off the cage. The white guy that does the backflip off
He's
the top
a white
of the cage.
guy.
He came from World Series of Fighting. He was
Yep.
a champion there before the UFC, before it was
Okay.
PFL or whatever.
Okay. I mean, I know that name for sure, and that sounds familiar, the doing a backflip off the cage and stuff.
He's going to come out and meet Cowboy, and it's going to be fireworks. But like Joe B said, who
I
knows
think
how
I know
long?
who it is now.
Who was his last fight? It wasn't
Cowboys?
Alvarez. No, Gaethje's.
He won his last fight. Who was it?
It was before.
Google that,
It was
right?
after Alvarez.
How do I
right?
spell
Him and
Gaethje?
Alvarez was slugging it in the center.
Yeah,
And Alvarez
Yeah.
fucking
How do I
caught
spell
him.
it?
GAETHJE.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very weird.
There he is. Ah, okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, who was his last fight?
Barbosa?
It was Barboza.
Okay.
Yeah, because he killed Barboza, which was a surprise. Because Barboza usually, Barboza either kicks your head off your shoulders or you beat him up for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
But I think he ended up knocking
Justin
him
Gaethje
out.
was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson at 238.
And then what happened? That's when
and
he hurt.
he turned it down, apparently. Yeah.
Well, that's when Tony was crazy, right? Like for a minute when he lost his mind for a minute and ran off with his
fucking
kid or
depressed.
something.
But then Cowboy's like, I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. Who's crazy? I'll fight him. I fought 3 weeks ago. Let's fight.
Well, I also had to ask you, because we haven't talked since, what did you think of Jorge Masvidal's flying knee on Ben Askren?
Cool.
Dude, don't talk shit, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Don't talk shit. Against, or at least pick your targets. It's
Yeah, that's the
Jorge,
wrong
man.
guy, right? That's the wrong guy, right?
Yeah, right. Like he fucking fought backyard fights with Kimbo Slice,
No shit.
and he's
Dude,
the ghetto Jesus Christ.
he is. I think he is what Jesus really looked like. That's what a real Jesus looked like.
Probably.
Dark skin, dark hair, and kick your ass.
Was that the fight the whole night? It was that fight, and then another one that was like in 3 seconds or something, where it was like wasn't it the co-main and the main were both like finished within 5 seconds?
Yeah,
or
it was
something
Amanda
stupid.
Nunez, right? It was
No.
Amanda Nunez.
Was what 12 seconds? No,
Okay.
there was another one that was 12
So-
seconds that night. It was not Kevin Lee. It wasn't Will Harris. What's his name? It wasn't Sterling.
No, I know what you're talking
Was
about.
that
was a
UFC
great-
239?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that was 12 seconds, and then he did his in 5.
Really,
Yeah.
his
But it was
two or
the
three.
combined
Yeah.
was like the fastest. I mean, between 2 fights, it was like some kind of record or whatever. But
Maybe it
Yeah,
was
it's
Nunez
ridiculous.
versus Holm. I didn't think it ended that quick.
it was pretty
But maybe,
quick.
yeah, maybe it was that quick. Maybe hers was 12 seconds.
Oh,
and-
239 was John Jones.
Yeah,
And
you
God, that was a
wouldn't
good
know
night.
because of the other 2 fights.
Okay, so Jorge, it was 5 seconds for Masvidal and Askren. It was at 4 minutes and round 1, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. So it was one of the earlier fights then, because it would have been 50 seconds.
Yeah.
For Nunez and Holmes. Sorry, I didn't say that. And then it was a decision for John Jones. But yeah, I don't know what.
Old,
maybe it was a week after that was 12 seconds.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it may have been like a fight night right after. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can't picture it.
But Jorge was the fastest finish, I think.
In UFC history.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty.
Dude, what about...
That was incredible.
Does he not deserve an Oscar, in your opinion, for how he started the fight? Like, I was never going to guess that he was going to sprint to a flying knee. You know, he was all cool and collected, like, doing his hands behind his back. Like, he, you know, it's just so pimp. I'm such a fan of Jorge now. I have been always, but, geez, how can you not?
What do you think of them shots afterwards?
I'm with him. You know, the ref's got to pull him off. You know, I don't. It's funny. It's funny to me because he said, I thought he was going to get up.
Bullshit.
I know. He was
Bullshit,
stiff as a board.
He was like,
he was so stiff. And then when he did the fake stiff, like, that was the coldest shit I've ever seen.
that was so mean.
In fighting, in any kind of fighting sport. But what he said is spot on. He's like, so these guys can say any fucking thing they want before the fight.
Yeah.
And everybody loves it.
Yeah.
But then after the fight, when I baptize them, I can't talk some shit. How can you can't say anything to that? He's right.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But, you know, I mean, that's... I don't know.
Who cares about sportsmanship when before a fight, guys will tell you, you know, for one, me and Joe both are big fans, and so are you, babe. You know, the shit talking before fights, 95% of it's bullshit.
Yes.
95% of it, those guys talk to each other afterwards, and they're like, hey, bro, that was good. Let's sell this
And
fight
I like
so we
that.
make money.
No, that's the ones I like, where it's like they're talking shit before, but then once you get in the cage, then when they have like all the respect for each other, and then afterwards they're like, you know.
But to Joe B's point, there's 3 guys that are the other 5% that you can't do that with, and that's Jorge and the Diaz brothers. They're not those guys.
Yeah.
Right. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Khabib.
Oh God, yeah.
sakes.
That's
or Khabib.
fuck.
You're not getting into that dude's fucking head.
No, and he's gonna take all of it to heart and turn it against you.
He's gonna think you're coming after his village in his fucking native country, and that you're gonna take the women
and his pet bear that he wrestles.
Yeah.
That was the thing about like Masvidal. They were saying that Askren was like talking shit for like 10 years. They used to train at the same camp. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just been building up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna smack him in Whole Foods. Like that's what he said.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this shit ain't over. I'm gonna smack him in Whole Foods. Like, damn, bro. Like that's somebody that's not a friend. There was probably it was before my son was born. I caught this dude breaking into my wife's car, and I told him, like, after I robbed him and then sent him on his way, I knew that he was friends with the kid that lived below me. So I told him, like, bro, your friend broke into my car. If I ever catch him at your apartment, I'm running his pockets every fucking time. And eventually they moved out. I mean,
well, good for you, sir. That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, I don't play games. Like, fuck off.
Hell no. You catch him robbing your shit. Hell, it's all fair game.
You know who Jorge Masvidal reminds me of, though, and I can't get past it every time I look at him, is Victor from Big Brother.
No shit. That is exactly. Joe may not watch Big Brother.
I have
but
no
God,
idea what
you're
you're talking
right.
From like 2 seasons ago, or
Yes,
fuck,
he
like
does.
3. It's
You're
like
fucking right on with that.
every time I see him, I'm like Victor.
But street gangster and tough
But
as shit.
yes, like rip your head off.
Victor.
So do you see anybody that can beat him at 170 right now?
Masvidal?
Yeah.
I want to see what's his name, Usman.
Yeah.
I want to see that fight. I think Masvidal has earned the title shot.
For God's sakes, yes.
So, and I think that he would be a good shot. He's like a Tyron Woodley 2.0. Doesn't have to worry about the wrestling so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see that one. I'm excited to see that one. They better give it to him and not fucking stiff him with some bullshit.
No, and he's become the money fight. You know, he's put himself in a position where if I was Usman, I would want that fight because you want the guys that, especially with the new ESPN structure and the pay-per-view numbers being down a little, like these guys, you got to pick money fights, and you can't blame them. Everybody gripes about the ranking system and shit. I don't blame these guys for trying to market and talk shit. Now, also, when you run into a fucking saw blade like Jorge Masvidal, like Ben Askren did, that shit happens. What I respect about Ben is he was like, damn, he tweeted that night. He was like, that sucked.
Yeah.
What else can he say?
No, he took his loss very eloquently.
Yeah.
As far as like, oh man, well, you know, I wasn't dieting right.
I know. I hate it when they start trying to do that
Tainted
shit.
supplement.
Oh, I had a hangnail and
The dude blasted me in the face with his knee.
my cat died. Yeah, like.
Did you ever watch it back and see, like, and really focus in on Ben, not Jorge, and how Ben was going for a single leg?
Oh yeah, he definitely dove down.
His face was looking at the canvas, so he never saw it. Like, boom, he went to,
That's why he went
cleanest shit I've ever seen.
Frankenstein.
Did you see the Bellator from this past weekend? Google Raymond Daniels knockout. His most recent knockout, bro. He did like this, like I'm gonna do this tornado kick, but instead of kicking, he like faked him out and then hit him with a right. Bro, it is so loud.
Oh yeah, those are
so loud.
Well, have you heard? I put this down to talk to you about too. About Maxim, the boxer Dashadev that died.
Yeah.
Yeah, his. Did you watch any of that? Like the clips of the last round, and it's Maxim Dadashev.
No, once they said he died, I was like, oh, I don't need to see it. I'm sure it was bad enough where his coach was saying,
Wait, somebody died in the ring?
No, but he basically did. Like, I watched the fight, and his trainer's Buddy McGirt, who's a Hall of Famer trainer and former boxer. And the 11th round ended, and this wasn't a fight where you saw clearly like they should stop it. But in the 11th round, he was never hurt, but he got punched the entire round. Every punch that the guy threw landed, that Mattias threw from Puerto Rico, made it to his face. And so when he sat down, Buddy said, I'm stopping it, Max. You're getting hit too much. I'm stopping it. And
I've seen that. You were watching that over. And
as soon as they announced it, he couldn't get out of the ring. He had to be helped. And then they got him to the back after two people carried him. And he started vomiting blood.
Uh-oh.
And he couldn't stand. He was passing out. I mean, it was the worst scene.
Wait, and that guy died later?
He died 3 or 4 days later. Fuck. They had to remove part of his skull. His right side of his brain was swollen.
What?
And that's the scary part. Of people think that MMA has taken the violence from boxing.
What?
Boxing is way more violent.
Yes, it is.
Because you got the standing
Both
10
of them
count,
are.
and these guys can get up and get up and get up, and they take so many punches. It's over in the UFC. I mean, they're going to stop it.
Well, that and you get the ground game. Like, you have ample opportunity to not get hit. Your clinch is different. You're not taking shots to the head as much as they do in boxing. You're not doing as many minutes in the ring.
Yeah. Oh, God. That's
So
the
true.
truth.
Yeah, 11
There's
rounds.
too many fucking rounds in boxing. Too many.
But they had a second death 2 days later.
What?
Another guy just died from a boxing
Well, they're going to
fight.
completely need to reevaluate all that shit.
I mean,
Well, they're not
They're
gonna
not
though.
going
No, it's the sweet science. But the scary part of it was I'd never seen. It's all on video. I don't recommend people watching the Maxim thing because it is terrible. But when you see him, his trainer loved him so much and was trying to convince him. He said, "Max, I got to stop the fight." This guy's already got brain swelling. No one can see it though, and he has the only thing he can say to his trainer is no. He couldn't say another word, but he's on. These guys are so well trained to fight and go on autopilot because he was still throwing jabs and moving in the ring. He never got knocked down, but his brain is swelling against his skull. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just I don't know what can really be done about it, but
Nothing.
yeah,
They're just going to keep doing it. I mean, it is what it is. Eventually, I think MMA or some form of that fighting will take over. But boxing is still the shit. Like, it's how it used to be back in the day.
With Deontay Wilder and Fury back in the mix in the heavyweights. And I like old fatty two tits Ruiz that shocked the world.
Yeah, against Anthony Joshua.
Oh, yeah. I've never been a Joshua fan. That fucking
That's
British
the only name I
accent.
know out of all the people you just named is Anthony Joshua. Just
Really?
because
Out of even
with
Deontay
Fighter and the
Wilder?
Kid.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, Dante Wilder. Okay, yeah.
The bronze
But-
bomber he's from Birmingham.
Okay.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, but anyway, I wanted to ask you both. I got a couple of questions here, headline things I wanted to ask both of you. Neither one of y'all know about these, but I want to get your
He
thoughts.
tells me nothing, Joe.
I mean, somebody's
did you
gonna be
guys-
the producer?
Have you heard about the story of the guy from New York that just left his two twins in the car and they died?
Yes.
I don't want to fucking hear. No, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's what I was going to say.
It's
So I'll let Joe B fill it in.
It's complicated. He worked he worked at a place that like helped veterans. He was a
the VA.
veteran. He dropped off like his older kid at one daycare, and because you're just on autopilot, he thought that he dropped the other ones off at their daycare and forgot. I mean, yes, at the same time, it's fuck that guy all the way off, because how do you fucking forget your kids? But at the same time, I've been in that routine where you're going from A to B, that you're an autopilot. You don't think about what you're doing. You just move, and then you're like, oh shit, seriously, this is what happened?
Yeah, he did. So the way it happened, he left them in the car. They stayed in the car from 8 to 4.
How old were they?
1 year old.
Yeah.
And they sat in the car from 8 to 4. And when he got off,
8
he
to
was
4, there wasn't one thing where he's like, fuck.
no,
like
he was
2
blown
hours
away.
later.
And the poor guy, it's clearly not a lie. He really, I can tell,
Well,
he's gonna
gonna-
punish himself worse than any prison sentence.
Of course, but I mean, it's the absolute, you cannot make that mistake. You cannot
I agree.
make
Yeah, no,
that mistake.
I don't
You
get
can't.
it. I don't get how it happens, because I've never left my kid anywhere.
I don't get how it happens either. At 1 year old, Gunner was jibber jabbering so much. There's no way you would forget that. Like, I don't know how there was 2 of them back there that making zero noise to call attention to themselves.
They may have
But
fell asleep.
oh, I guess kids do. Ours doesn't do that. But still, I don't. It's not.
Here's the thing, though.
It's not.
When they got the
happening.
kids out, they weren't breathing anymore. They weren't responsive. Their internal body temperature was 108 degrees.
No, that's. You know how miserable
You know what that's like?
and horrible of a death that was? It's suffocating and burning at the same
Florida.
time, kind of. Like, no.
But I still don't like.
No.
There's a big part of me. I'm a mix between you guys. I almost feel like that guy. I feel for him so badly. It's a terrible mistake, but I don't know if punishment can do anything to him.
No, probably not.
this
right?
point-
You just fucking lost your kids in a fucking car. Like,
No, and it
off
was
of
your
a
fault.
Stupid mistake.
Yeah, it was
Like
your
it-
fault, and
right.
yeah, there's nothing jail could do for that.
No.
I mean nothing. There's
There's no game over. Oh, I just start again and I'll get everything.
no.
back.
You can't recover from that
No.
ever in life. Like that's not. No, it's the worst possible thing that could ever mistake that you could ever make, and I feel horrible for him, but it's his fault.
Yes.
Have you two heard about the comedian that made the joke about whatever that rapper XXXTentacion, his death? Have you heard about this?
Tentacion? Well, I heard
Yeah.
about it on Delia's podcast.
Yeah.
It was a girl, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dina something. Yeah.
And she made the joke that he died because he got robbed. Basically, he went to buy a car with $50,000 in cash. They robbed and killed him because he had $50,000 in cash on him.
Yeah.
Like
Which
in
is
a bag.
terrible. But her joke was that his death is the perfect commercial for Venmo,
Right. So you don't have all that cash on it.
and I think it's a great joke.
I mean,
But comedy's-
should have gone with a Cash App, but yeah. I mean, Venmo is the poor man shit. At least go Cash App. Because then if you use code Rogan, you can at least get $10. And you're putting money to the wells, right? With fucking, what's his
Big
name?
Pygmy. Yeah, the Big Pygmy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so at least do the Cash App.
That's true. And Delia's got it.
And Delia's got cash out.
Make these rich guys even richer.
No, no.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But
Call us, Cash App.
it shows me how weak and how driven by how offended people can be that the networks are, because Comedy Central pulled that fucking joke. I can't believe it.
Oh, really?
And what got me more,
So
though,
stupid.
is the hip-hop community, right? Which, of course, support, the rapper, and I don't know his music or
It was
anything.
just his like rabid fans, I think, that went off.
No, there's
right?
a lot of people from hip-hop, like Jay-Z,
Oh
Jay-Z
my
fans.
God.
And listen,
Come on.
You know,
those hip-hop, if you grew up in hip-hop or know anything about it, that they are pioneers of fighting against censorship
Censorship, yeah.
in their industry from the jump. The
Exactly.
forefathers of hip-hop fought for that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for them to now basically censor, it's the most hypocritical shit I've ever seen. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because when the hip-hop community becomes pussies, we're all pussies, goddamn. That's Uncle Randy.
Yeah,
Stop
dude,
it.
that is fucking straight, Uncle Randy.
Because when the hip-hop community, they're the last
Yes.
defense. I mean, if they become pussies, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Who in the
Jesus.
hip hop community we talking though?
I mean, Jay-Z's
I
a
don't-
pretty big name.
Jay-Z's okay. You said Jay-Z,
Yeah.
so he's like at the top.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Can
But
it get
that's-
any bigger
No,
than
it can't. So, but I mean, he's also become
He has
uber
become a white man.
commercialized.
He's become a
and
rich white man, him and Beyonce. It's true.
basically, I mean, he's lost all his gangster.
That dude,
It's not that you lost your gangster. It's just different, right? You're like, he's made so much money that you're in a different planet. You can't talk about
Mm-hmm.
being poor when you're that rich.
Right.
Like
For sure.
So,
But he should also, I don't know, he should still fight against the establishment and
well,
censorship
he is
and
like
shit.
he helps support and provide like legal counsel for a lot of people that get in trouble that maybe can't provide legal counsel for themselves.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, he does, which is why it's so shocking to me. That's
Yeah.
exactly why it blew my mind. And I mean, I just hope
So
that
now
it's
he's like trying to take money off this girl's plate, trying to make $1 in comedy, which is
Well, maybe
another.
He's just offended because that guy died earlier than he should have. Because
She didn't say that he didn't. Like there was nothing in the joke about fuck that guy.
That's what I was gonna say,
Yeah,
exactly.
I
There's
mean,
none of
there was
that.
nothing in there about him personally. It was.
fucking
mean-
domestic abuse and all that shit that he was getting charged with. No,
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't a
yeah.
great person, anyways.
No, he's
yeah.
a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah, he like beat up his
I don't-
pregnant girlfriend. I think.
I don't
Yeah.
care that your music was changing. You're still a piece of shit. Fuck off.
You're
But-
fucking yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? I got to be honest. If you're walking around with 50 G's in your pocket to go do
You're
a
asking
shady
for it.
used car deal, man, your chances of being murdered are well above average. That's a terrible recipe.
especially in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of asking for it. Like,
Shout out to Delvin.
Jesus. All right. Well, I got to ask y'all this, too. Did you
is
hear?
that where Delvin is?
Miami, yeah.
I don't even know what that is, so I don't know. what you're
Delvin
talking
Cox.
Delvin Cox.
about. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
okay.
in Miami.
Oh, nice. I wonder what his thoughts are on that whole thing.
I don't know. We don't have him on Facebook. You
No,
have
what
to.
to ask him. But did you guys hear about, so vaping is a big thing. Everybody knows that. They're starting to release
Sure.
the first studies on it, right? And these 8 kids in Wisconsin, 8 from the same little area, and they were all smoking Juuls or whatever, which of all the e-cigarettes and shit, why did they make one that looks like a stick of gum? Have you seen a Juul?
Yeah.
I just saw
Yeah.
one for the first. It's a rectangle.
Yeah. So,
So weird.
the kind of vape pens that we get for our THC, I'm not sure why I air quoted that. But
I know. It really is THC.
It really is like
You're not
like
kidding about that.
Our vape pens.
vape pen or THC.
You should say for our CBD.
Yeah, there you go. Shout
Or
out to
CBD.
Headphone.
That's what it is. I guess THC, air quotes, was appropriate because it's CBD.
The new ones that we have now look more like Juuls than the old ones that we used to get, where they were like a different cartridges.
Yeah.
I don't get how I don't vape for fun, so I'm not really
Yeah,
sure
but-
how that shit started with kids.
Well, these doctors, these 8 kids that went in all had, of 8, they were all teenagers, have been smoking vape for at least 2 years, and they all had scar tissue built up in their lungs,
Ugh.
like they had been smoking cigarettes for 20 years.
Wow.
No shit.
And they've been vaping, they were like 16, 17, 15 years old.
Yeah, because you're just smoking
So
chemicals.
it's starting to come in that everybody's, I've got tons of friends, even big bodybuilders that would vape and be like, it's better than smoking, bro. This is nothing, This is vape. It's not smoke. I'm like, no one knows yet, bro. That's a bad.
Brand new.
We don't know yet. You're jumping on it too soon.
So like my
'Cause I'm
uncle that just passed, the reason why we took our big vacation recently, that we were in Florida and all that
With
bullshit.
the RV and shit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So he smoked forever, got COPD, and he went on like the lung transplant list, but he switched from cigarettes to vaping, and I'm like, bro, you're drowning yourself. Like, you already can't
That's what I
breathe.
said.
You're inhaling like a mist, like a vapor. That's
what I said.
That's,
Water.
That's fucking water. You know what I mean? Like, you're drowning yourself.
And you're already compromised lungs.
Right.
And then,
it's glycerin. It's a fucking like vegetable oil that you're basically inhaling, heated up into your lungs. It's like fried food. You're like KFC
But you're
and
inhaling
fucking
it.
ribs.
Dude, that's why I just, from the jump, when everyone had explained it to me, like, I was like, I don't think y'all are hearing this. Like, everybody wants to convince himself, no matter what I dip, so I get it. I've got a habit. I'm hypocritical as shit. But
I will say, as far as like THC type of relevancy stuff, like, at least you don't have that smell of like, when somebody's smoking weed, right? There's a smell.
for sure.
yeah.
But with
Like a
that,
skunk.
it's like, oh, you don't smell anything. Oh, and then it tastes like vanilla, fucking caramel, or this is Dr. Pepper flavor.
Yeah. Well, see, and the thing is with me, like, I've never been into weed. Brooke was really big into it for a lot of years. And so I didn't even know, like, I remember when we first got together, she could smell it and immediately be able to tell, like, if that's good weed or bad weed, or, like, oh, shit, that's for real. Like, it just all smelled like a shitty-ass skunk to me. Like, I'm like, okay, there's a dead skunk somewhere. I'm that ignorant to it. But, yeah, so you guys that actually partake can, like, smell the grade, which is hilarious to me.
Even if
Blows my mind.
Arnold showed you that smoking weed's all right, it's good for bodybuilding.
No, I've tried it. It just made me feel terrible.
It's just not. Randall's just, he's too much of a control freak, and like, so.
Oh, you gotta let go, baby.
Yeah, I know he won't. But also he can't do something just a little. So it's like
That's fair.
yeah.
That's
so
fair.
That's fair.
so he's not just going to smoke a little weed and try and like ease into it. He's just going to smoke all the weed and then have a
right.
panic attack.
Yeah, so there's come on, man.
Yeah.
No.
So then he's like, nope, I can't never do it.
Dude, that's so true. The last time we tried it, Joe, we got my buddy from Alabama got like some great shit.
It was like
brought it. It was
purple.
like purple, and Brooke was like, "This is great. This is beautiful." I was like, "It looks terrible, but okay." And so we smoked a little bit, and then I was like, "Shit, I don't even feel it. I smoke all this shit."
Yeah. And I was like, no, but you should really slow. Okay.
And I kept doing it. And I was like, "How do I know if I'm high?" And she's like, "Because when you asked that."
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, "Where are my arms? Where are my legs? I'm gonna go throw."
He's
up.
like, when I cannot feel my arms, and I couldn't stop laughing. Because he's like, how do I know when I'm high? I'm like, when you start asking questions like that.
No, man.
And then
And then he was like, oh, shit.
I will say, like, I've been taking the CBD oil. Like, you drop a
Yeah.
little dropper under your
Yeah,
tongue.
me too.
Every time I take it, just a hit. I don't need to smoke the whole bowl or blunt or joint or bag. Like, just one hit and can function. And it's been nice. You go to sleep a little bit earlier than I normally would, but sleep through the night like a baby. But you
See, that's what I hear is what I need. Like, not only for my injuries, like, medical marijuana and stuff for all my soul. Like, I know I'm a good candidate, and if I would just do like Brooks always said, just take a hit, just one hit, just sit and let it happen.
yes,
I know.
I can't do that because if I take one little hit and there's anything, I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool.
But you don't do
We
that
got all
with
that.
beer. Like, I don't understand. You can.
weird.
It's just certain things, and I don't know if it's because if it would be like a new thing or something. I don't know, because you do take CBD oil before going to bed now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you've been pretty good with that. You haven't eaten like the whole bag of gummy things.
No, but I can.
Give me all of them.
I'm surprised he hasn't.
Yeah, because I got the ones that have like 3% THC in them.
Yeah.
And I never ate the whole bag. I
No?
just took
And they're
them
helping, huh?
as prescribed. Well, when I'm out of those gummies, the ones
Oh.
that I could. Those. Here's the funny part. I'm fine with making fun of myself, so y'all all know that. But the first time I ate one of those gummies, I went to. There's a shop here. It's like a really nice, fancy CBD shop. Like this lady's very friendly, walks you through everything. So I got those gummies with the 3% THC. Came home and took them and was cooking dinner. And Brooke came home. She had Gunner. She walked by. I was like, "Hey, babe, how's your day?" I was like, "I'm stoned."
I was like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Because I could feel something. Like, I don't know if it was a damn, what's the word when it's fake? They get placebo effect.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was that or what, but I was like, holy shit, I'm high. All right, what happened?
Well, you think
I
about it
took
too much,
I ate
too.
gummy bears.
It's like if you take something new, it's like you're sitting there on every breath, like waiting for something to happen, and like you just need to chill. Like
Just do your thing. Don't even think about it.
yes, just act normal.
Just stop being you. Stop being you and be someone else, and you'll be better.
I'll say the worst thing, or not worst, the most potent thing I've ever done was like 100 milligram gummy that I ate the whole thing of. Like I brought it on a camping trip. It was 300 milligrams. It was 3 gummies. They looked like little sandwiches, and they were 100 per little gummy sandwich.
So is that like intended to get you fucked up, like an
my
edible
God.
type
Yeah,
thing?
That's like Joey Diaz
yeah,
level,
okay.
right?
So you could cut it up and even slice it beyond that. And I told Billy, like, yo, fuck that. I'm going to eat this whole thing. I don't care what you do with your third, but this is my third. I'm going to eat the whole thing. Like, I was in a different world as far as not like Space Cookie Wutsky, but more kind of, it was like an out-of-body experience.
Like a K-hole?
Yeah, kind of.
If you ever did ketamine, like where you're just like...
kind of like a K-hole. Like, I'm sitting out here watching everything go down and just going to chill.
And that doesn't freak you out. What that would do to me is send me into an immediate panic attack, and everyone's night is ruined.
No, because I've already been beyond that with a K-hole.
Yes, me too.
I died one time. It was crazy. I definitely died, and then it was like a spiral road, and that's how I got back as I like unraveled myself and traveled. Then I'm like, oh shit! All right,
That's so weird.
now I'm back to
It was like an Alice in Wonderland experience for me. I was like falling down the fucking rabbit hole, like so far. And like, well, I'm staying here forever.
And how do you not freak the fuck out from that? Like, I couldn't do that. I would end up...
Well, for me, I couldn't move my limbs.
now, right? But if it was back in the day, you would have already learned how to freak out. So if you would have experienced that now, you already know what it is.
Right. Like, I mean, and the thought of doing something like that now and not having experienced all the shit I did when I was younger, it's just no. Yeah. But I mean, I am a totally different person now too, so it might very well send me into the fucking loony bin. But I mean,
I'm not trying to look and go back to that hole. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
If I saw that hole as I was walking, I'd be like, oh shit, you know where that goes, and just keep walking.
I know what happens there.
Well, so why is it that the edibles fuck everyone up so much worse? Because Brooke, I remember when Ryan had those cookies at the bowling alley, and he was giving people like a morsel, like literally.
It's just the way that they're processed, right? So the way that they're digested. Even like Rogan's explained it, the way that it goes through the liver, it like breaks it down so that you get more of like a psychoactive phase than just smoking it. Which again, like a little bit at a time, and you can keep building off of it, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Like I've eaten 2 cookies that I've made one time, and then had a panic attack because the fucking TV wouldn't turn to the right input, and all the kids were like staring at me like, "We want to watch this fucking TV." It's like, settle down. The wife comes downstairs and she's like, "What's wrong?" I ate 2 cookies. I need a minute. And she's like, "All right, just go upstairs, take a second, come back, refocus, and then you go outside. You do breathing. It's like Lamaze. Just breathe.
Holy
like
shit.
Meditation.
Well, so explain to everybody. I mean, there's only 2 people watching, but when we put this out, I want everyone to hear. So, what was? Because I've never heard the whole story about Wutsky and the space
I don't know
sandwich or
this.
whatever.
So
I've heard bits
I
of
wasn't
it.
there, so I only got the third hand effect. He doesn't ever partake because of his job and anything. So
I get it.
So if you're gonna take a full cookie, they just were like, "Here you go, eat this," and he was like, "All right, maybe I should take it in bites." No, he ate the whole thing. So
Holy shit.
yeah, so that's gonna give you like an overactive experience. And if you're not familiar with it or have the right guide to show you, no, we're going to go this way or that way.
Like a shaman
Yeah.
for your fucking...
Yeah.
And who was he with? Almy and Riley and them?
Christina.
Holy
and I'm sure they've
God.
been through it, but they also don't want to deal with it at the same time. Like I even heard that Bobby Light, who gave him the cookie, checked out of the same night because he had too much. Eventually, he was like, "Nah, I'm out of here. I'm going home."
Damn.
You just setting is a big
Wutsky.
thing, and knowing your dosage that you're fucking with.
Well, so how much of a buzzkill is that to like everyone that's experienced? Because I've been the buzzkill, like, but to the people that like normally like party a little bit, they just smoke their pot. They're good with it.
Yeah.
So they get a little high and they're all fine and gonna have a great night. And then you got the one bozo like me or Wutsky that's ruining your lives.
Comes in like a bull in a china cabinet
Yeah,
and
bro,
fucks
you're not ruining it. You just it depends. In What's-His case, it sounded like he just took himself out of the equation and went to bed.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's-
like you don't have to fuck with it. But like at the same time, I went to a rave once way back in the day. When they had raves, and
that
it
was my thing.
my first rave, and my friend that brought me there got fucking pinched for selling pills and got fucking arrested. So like, and I'm already like, oh, here's a tab of acid, here's an ecstasy pill. Okay,
You're like, woo.
yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to jail. All right, man. I guess I'll see you when you get out. See you later.
I guess
All right,
I'll catch
Right
another
here.
ride.
Not joking, man. All right. Be good, bro.
So I played the rest, and eventually he posted bail and got out and fucking. But we had to go to court for his shit. That was fun.
Well, here's why Wutsky's a better guy than me, because he's smart and went to bed. I'd be the guy that's like, nope, you're all going to sit here and watch me and tell me why I
And
can't
talk
feel
me
my
through
arms.
this.
Hey, everyone still see me? Because I don't know if you can see me anymore. Can you see me? Am I alive?
It happens. I mean, I've had some friends do some throwing up while ripping a toilet bowl from the fucking bolts.
Randall would do
with
that. Would be that
Jack
sounds.
Daniels and mushrooms. So I mean, it happens.
Oh,
like
man.
you get one of those people every now and again.
Yeah, I knew a girl in high school that did acid and was cutting herself thinking that dragons were attacking her.
Come
All right,
on
well,
now.
that's aggressive.
Come on now. That
Yeah,
is.
It was horrifying.
That's an after-school special.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
some
what
propaganda
is happening?
bullshit.
No, this was real bullshit. And I was like, see, that's why I've never done acid. That's why when people were like, hey, let's drop some acid, I'm like, you know what? Go fuck yourself.
It's not.
I'm out of y'all's world.
It's not.
You just gotta. That's the you. It's
Set
the
and
same
setting.
thing that we've been talking about. You gotta have the right like mindset and the wherewithal when you're super fucked up to be like, I'm on drugs.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not everybody
This is
can
drugs.
do that.
This is- yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, I can't say that I haven't had a bad trip before because I have, but I was also able to just kind of put myself in a corner and be like, time out, bitch.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I can,
This is
how
you
did
just
we
gotta
even get
sit
to this
here.
Conversation, but yeah.
I don't know, but I want to ask you both, and then I'll move on.
CBD oil, I think, got us here
Yeah,
somehow.
we're talking CBD here. But so, can you do, so literally, just for the novices, you do have to be able to have an internal dialogue with yourself that although you're freaking out, part of you can say, hey, bro, it's just the drugs.
Yes,
We're cool.
yes.
So you got two bodies talking in your head.
Yeah.
One saying, I'm fucked up. The other saying, bro, relax.
Yes.
It's the drugs. You're not really having a heart attack.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You just got to have one little tiny piece of your brain that's logical in this when you're super fucked up to be like, just fucking chill and try to convince the rest of your brain if you're not having a good time to have a good time. But for me, for the most part, it was always having a good time.
Hey, what did Wutsky just say in here?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I've
I
only
closed
had
it
one
out 'cause
time
I
that
went-
it was sketchy, and I just told
Yeah,
I told the people, I'm like, listen, you guys, you can't be here anymore.
Just yeah, and that's fair.
Oh shit! All right, let me see. What else did I have?
Do you think that Masvidal should fight Leon Edwards? You know, the dude that he like had problems with backstage or whatever that one time.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's not a big enough name for Jorge. I get what I mean. It would be cool, but Leon's also boring. He just fought. He makes me yawn. He's a decisionator. He's very talented, but he's boring. I want Jorge to make that money. I want him to fucking sucker Connor or some bullshit.
I mean, that's kind of out of your scope. He ain't gonna fucking fight.
Of course,
Connor.
I know, but I
That's
see why
heavy.
he's swinging for that fence.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
he
hope
just
he
wants
gets the
that
title
money.
shot. Mm-hmm.
Watsky said he feels like he needs to defend himself.
For what? Don't you have to defend
No.
I
yourself?
don't know
baby.
either. There was nothing bad.
No, he was a smart guy.
Some people just
We're making
can't
You
fun
did
of
the
me.
right thing, Watsky. Just say no next time.
Yeah, me and Wutsky can be the.
But it wasn't his fault. I mean, it was his
No.
fault, or not his fault. I mean, he ate the whole thing. You got to know when to say no.
You
But
should
he also
definitely not eat
needed the
the whole
right guide
cookie.
at the same time to be like, nah, baby, this is how we're doing it. We're gonna
Did
fucking
nobody
get
tell
on the same
him?
plane.
Well, it wouldn't.
Nobody also was
it-
on the same plane. You know what I mean? He was out there on the
Yeah.
spaceship by himself. Nobody else ate a cookie and was like, "Yeah, bro, we're going flying."
Yeah, we're going to
When they
Brooklyn,
had
baby. Yeah,
All
cuz.
right, y'all can keep talking about fighting. I'll keep talking about.
Well, no,
dumb
we're still
drug
talking
shit.
about it. What I was going to say to your point, babe, about having somebody tell him not to do it. What good did it do when you were yelling from the fence top for me to stop smoking the weed? Like, stop.
The weed.
It doesn't matter. I was still like,
When
nah.
I told you to stop taking marijuana.
Yeah, I'm still taking the pot, baby. I'm taking all the pot.
Well, for sure, but you're a different animal,
I'm sure Wutsky's similar.
and it was, and you're a different animal when because it was just me and you. You're like, I mean,
Eventually, though, I can remember, like, when you just gave up and were like, all right, big boy,
I didn't try that hard.
digging
I was
your
like,
own grave there, mister.
yeah, I didn't try that hard because I knew it was a moot point, and I was already high, so I was like, fuck it, whatever.
Sometimes you got to let the dogs fly.
Well, sometimes you gotta let him learn his lesson and dig his own grave,
Yeah.
and that is with Randall almost all the time because he doesn't listen really to what anybody else says. He's gotten better now.
Now that I've
Yeah,
Stuff
a
like
little
that.
I
bit.
told
a
him I was
little
going to
bit.
stab him with this knife, he's fine.
I still definitely am one that like has to learn by touching the hot stove, even though everyone
God,
tells
yes.
you not to. I
Just
still
like
have
you
to touch it.
got hit by a car when you were a
Oh,
kid
yeah.
because
The
you were just
smoke.
running out in the middle of the road, not looking.
But Joe, you have two kids, right? A boy and a girl.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was wondering, this is the last question. We'll wrap up because I don't want to hold you forever.
Girls are
Yeah,
fucking
it's already
terrifying.
been an hour.
But the boy, right? Because I'm getting a lot of the young men are reaching out to Uncle Randy with their sex questions on
There you go,
Instagram,
yeah.
and I get it, but I really am seeing where a lot of boys, the dads aren't giving them the talk anymore. They don't know,
Well, your little guy's younger than your girl,
Yeah,
right?
he's older. He's 12. We've already had the talk several times.
which is smart. I figured
Okay,
that's why I'm
yeah.
asking you this question. I haven't really asked it to anybody else, but I felt like you're a pretty straight shooter. I've had to talk many times, like you got to nowadays.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you think dads aren't doing it?
I mean,
It sucks.
my dad or parent of who was trying to raise me at the time never did it either. Like, I learned a fucked up way. So actually being around for my son to actually have the talk, I've made sure
Yeah.
that we've had different talks. And it actually started with like Spider-Man Homecoming. Have you've seen Spider-Man Homecoming?
No, but I like that you brought superheroes
Sorry.
into the talk.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're gay and shit. so
He's got jizz coming out of his wrists, for Christ's sake.
So during when his friend is helping Spider-Man, he's in like the library or whatever, and he's on a computer, and the teacher catches him. And he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, looking at porn." So the whole theater laughed, and then after we dropped off Billy and we fucking were driving home, which it's literally like a 90-second drive. I'm like, oh, what'd you think of the movie? He's like, it was good. I'm like, all right, sweet. He's like, why did everybody laugh when they said porn? I'm like, oh, all right. So this is the porn.
Good for him though.
This is
for
the porn
asking.
conversation now. So like we've already kind of had like a sex talk before that, and then it was like, all right, yeah, that's what porn is. And then when we were on vacation, he kind of caught his mother and I, which it happens.
Uh-oh.
It happens.
Sure.
Everybody catches somebody.
Yep. That's going to happen.
Yeah. So we had to have that talk, and it was like, yeah, if it's a loving couple that are together, it should happen. If it's not happening, there's a problem there. Because you're only doing it out of love.
Sure.
And then, two, like, at least your parents look good. I mean, could you imagine if it was like something fucking two Jabba the Hutts, like, mashing or whatever? Like, you know how nasty that is?
You're like, high five, son.
At least you have to look at that. I mean, I'm not great, but at least it's better than...
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's a nightmare for some kids.
I'm sure it's hard for people to talk to their kids because a lot of them are trying to be friends, right? Like, you try to, like, buddy up.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't discipline. I mean, granted, you're not hitting your kid anymore. It's not the it's not the 50s. So finding out how to discipline them so that they listen and are structured and are not like running around like, oh, we're friends, I'm gonna talk shit to you. Nah, bitch, like, I'm in charge here. This is my house, not your house. I'm
telling you what works. What seems to work for me is that I'm so rarely mad, like real mad. Like, it's so rare that when either of the boys see it, they're like, what the fuck? Like, really mad? Like, Griffin, he still says, like, only 2 times he knows where I've been really mad. Where, Brooke's the more explosive out of us. We've talked about that in detail. The quick to explode. But when it comes to the talk part of it, it's uncomfortable. But if you'll dive in and have it, it gets better every time, right? But these kids aren't getting talked to at all. And now with this technology, can you imagine when you were a teenager if you had these camera phones and shit? How bad? I'd been in jail for life.
Nope.
That was one thing I stressed hard was like, there's no dick pics.
No, you can't. You can't
because
even think
it's
about
child porn.
It is. My police officer buddies have told me straight up. It's child porn.
With our former show that we used to have, we interviewed a comedian he's a police officer also. And he said the same thing. In New Hampshire, legal age for consent is 16. So you can legally consent to have sex at 16.
A lot of states are 16, I
even
think.
with an adult that's 20 plus, whatever. But it's
really?
that's legal age consent. So we can have sex. But as soon as you take a picture of that person because they're not an adult, that's
18.
child porn. It's like, it's like, damn, bro. Like, well, I mean, first off, that's way too young for me, anyways.
Sure.
My daughter ruined anything that's young.
Yeah, see, I don't have a daughter. You got this other side of the spectrum. I bet that is terrifying.
Randall would sound just like you if we had a daughter. She
ruined my life, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
He's so protective of our nieces that, like, it's insane. And I'm like,
it's not even protecting her from, like, other dicks. It's more of, like, the shit that she does that I cannot look at, like, women the same way anymore.
And how she's like 9?
7. She'll be 8 in December. But she's...
Oh, my.
She watches YouTube a lot, so she thinks she's like 13, 16 sometimes. And it's like, bitch,
of course,
you need to fucking tone it down. But she'll fuck with me, right? So she was taking selfies by the pool. And I
saw those. I saw your pictures.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you think this is?
You were so pissed off. You were like, how in the fuck did this happen?
This shit ain't your pool. Why are you taking pictures? She's like, what? I'm like, you didn't pay for it. Like, I don't know why you're trying to act like it's yours. So then the other day we were in, I'm like, oh, help me clean the pool. And she's like, that's just not mine. Like,
shit.
What do you mean? Well, I didn't pay for it, so it's definitely not my pool. You clean it.
I can't help.
Like, you fucking bitch. Dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like, she has not ruined my life. Like, she made me good.
Of course, I know what you're saying.
She made me good, but at the same time, she ruined the way I look at things. Porn? What's porn? Like, I can't even look at that shit anymore.
Oh, I bet that makes it very hard. But I mean, I worry about your health then when she's 16? Because if she's 7 and she's killing you like this now, you'll be dead of a heart attack, and so would
Monastery.
I mean,
I already said when she becomes 12, I'll move into a monastery. I'm be like Uncle
chastity
Phil.
belt.
yeah, because at that point you got to protect your health for longevity, and you can't have something that's going to put you into cardiac arrest at any moment. Well, shit, we're going to wrap this thing up. Damn it, that was fun as shit, Joe.
It was so fun. I can't believe it's
I don't know
already
if we
been.
covered everything you wanted, but we're an hour and 20 minutes in and just shooting the shit.
Dude, it's
man.
already been that long.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
I just looked at it too.
But let's give everybody your all your socials and shit so they can reach out and check you out if they don't already do it.
All right, so we are on Any Pod on YouTube every Wednesday, 8:15 p.m. If I don't hit 100 subscribers in 2 weeks, then we're going back to our original channel that we got suspended from during our first buddy beatdown.
Yes, buddy beatdown. Yep. UFC got him in trouble.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, we can't put UFC in the title next time.
But other than that, Twitter, Instagram, AnyPod will do. You can check us out, Any Podcast, on all the platforms. Podcoin, hit that shit up. Get your 300 coins, AnyPod.
Yeah, and the YouTube, for everybody listening, it's actually a really good time. The chat's real interactive, so if you go and check them out on YouTube, Wednesday nights, it's always a good time in the chat. You can shoot the shit. Not only will you get to, throw some shit and you might make it on to the show if Joe B catches it and reads it on the show, but you can interact with other podcasters that are super cool. You got Wutsky's always in there from #NoOffense. Usually got the kids from The Plunge. I say kids, I mean they're college young men.
They're children.
Kids, you're old enough
compared to us.
Kids.
I know we're technically old enough to be their parents. So
yeah, I mean you get to interact with some cool ass podcasters that if you listen to Married AF, you've already heard their names because we shout them out all the time. So you can interact with them in the chat. So we highly recommend them. But fuck, man. We appreciate you coming on, Joe. We'll talk roundtable whenever you want.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm down, dude. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
All right, brother. Yeah, man. Be good, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Later, brother.
Oh, jeez.
What do you mean, oh geez? What's oh
Eat
geez?
some pussy and a steak.
That's me. Don't worry. You don't have to say that.
I see that's you. Eat some pussy and a steak.
Eat some pussy and a steak. It's for Uncle Randy, okay? He's going to get a big kick out of it, though. So don't judge me
Pizza first.
after the things you've said on this podcast. Holy shit.
Goddamn.